All right, welcome back to the channel. Deontay Wilder blast at Dillian Whyte, says he knew what he was doing, and also Eddie Hearn sounds like he might be willing to throw Dillian underneath the bus. Surprise, surprise. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Also, thank you very much to the Patreons, the new patrons on the channel. We got the second video up on the negotiation series, talking about the best alternative to a negotiated agreement, which is called BATNA, something that you need to have in any negotiation that you enter. So definitely check that out on the Patreon. It will be of tremendous value to you in your personal and professional life. Also, thank you to everybody that supports on the Cash App and in the super chat and the live streams. You guys are definitely a big part of what makes the channel go. Thank you very much. And thank you to everybody that attends the live streams Monday through Friday and OG Boxing Talk on Sunday. Let's hop right into it with my man Dillian Whyte. Well, let's not hop right in. Let's just rewind for people that don't know, because there's two things that have happened this year, man, that have had me chuckling. Well, the first one, number one, was Anthony Joshua getting knocked out. Knocked down 4 times and quitting against the rope, which a subscriber let me know was technically a TKO. So it's technically a technical knockout. It's a technical knockout, but yeah, it's more of quitting. And that was Eddie Hearn's number 1 heavyweight. Eddie Hearn's number 2, new number 1 heavyweight, which is Dillian Whyte. Crying and complaining, making up this story about him having waited 600 days to become the mandatory challenger for Deontay Wilder, when he really just waited 63. There was already a mandatory challenger in Dominic Breazeale who had been the mandatory and who had been waiting on his fight to be ordered for the entire time that Dillian Whyte was ranked number 1. So Dominic Breazeale loses to Deontay Wilder, and then 63 days later, a fight between Oscar Rivas and Dillian Whyte takes place and at stake it was the mandatory status for the WBC to fight Deontay Wilder. In that fight, before that fight, Dillian Whyte tests positive for performance-enhancing drugs, and the Oscar Rivas isn't informed. The WBC is not informed. Dillian Whyte then has his status revoked provisionally revoked by the WBC, and Dillian Whyte is now the shortest reigning. It's not reigning. He's probably had the mandatory status shorter than anybody in boxing history, because 6 days later they snatched it back from him until he presents to them the information necessary for them to make a decision. And if something turns out to their satisfaction, they may give it back to him. I can't see that. So that's where we are. And Deontay Wilder speaks the truth. Well, speaks what most people know. Of course, we don't know for sure what the B sample says. We just know that the A sample has traces of ultra traces. You know, this new word that I've been introduced by people that want to act like Dillian Whyte really didn't do it. And oh man, there's some question how you wind up with D-ball in your system, man. Okay. D-ball, he popped dirty for 2 D-ball metabolites, and we're waiting around on the B side to see whether or not he was actually under the influence of performance-enhancing drugs. But he already had the fight. Now, Deontay Wilder says, yeah, Dillian Whyte knows what he was doing. They knew what they were doing. It's in his system. Waiting around why isn't the B sample already been released? It's not quite 2 weeks. It's over 2 weeks since they found out that the A sample popped dirty. How long does it take to test How long does it take to test a B sample? So what Deontay Wilder is saying is that, look, they're trying to find some way to skate out of it. That's why the B sample hasn't been released. But these guys know what they're doing in the sport of boxing. They know what they're putting in their body. And Deontay Wilder and Dillian Whyte is a drug cheat. What's the excuse going to be this time? That's another thing Deontay Wilder said. What's the excuse going to be this time? Last time it was an energy drink. What was it? The last 2 years suspension that Dillian Whyte got was for an energy drink. What is the excuse going to be this time? Now, for me, the funniest thing about this is listening to all these people out here trying to be extra fair to Dillian Whyte. Eddie Hearn says, well, the WBC made their decision without knowing all the facts. And so, it took him 600 days. It took them 600 days to give him his mandatory status. 600 days. It took 63, Eddie. 63. Check the date of the Deontay Wilder-Dominic Breazeale fight, and then check the date of the Oscar Rivas fight. You'll see that was 63 days. It's not 600 days, but regardless. Eddie Hearn then at the end says, but hey, if it winds up, I don't believe that he did anything, but if he really did anything, then hey, he needs to be banned, right? Not suspended, banned. Not suspended, banned, says Eddie Hearn. So, what's going to happen? What is going to happen to, what else did Eddie Hearn say? Eddie Hearn says that it's not his fault that he put on his promotional fight, that his fight that he put on as the guy that runs, and I suppose the co-owner of, along with his family, of Matchroom Boxing, puts on a promotion, gets paid for the promotion. They organized the fight, they executed the fight, they counted the money. And if they wanted to cancel it, had absolutely every bit of power to cancel that fight or cancel that particular fight. But he's like, it's all on the BBOC. It's on the BBOC. It's on UCAD. It's not on me. So it's going to be on the BBOC. It'll be on the UCAD. It'll be on Dillian Whyte. If it winds up being the case, hey, all I did is he was cleared to fight. So what am I supposed to do? Man, these dudes are scumbags, man. This guy's a scumbag. Anyway, Dillian Whyte does not, I don't need a B sample. And I've said this before, I'm gonna say it again. I don't need to see the B sample. That's the D sample. We're not waiting on the B sample. We're waiting on the D sample. Because Dillian Whyte has already suffered a 2 year, suffered means that, I feel sorry for him and his feelings. Excuse me. He was already suspended for 2 years for using banned substances. Already. So the A and B sample, he already number 1 is A, number 2 is B, number 3 is C, number 4 is D. Number 1, 2, and 3 are already gone. In my opinion, it's 3 strikes and you're out. I don't wait. If the B sample was going to come back clean, it should have come back clean right away. They're going to be like, hold on. It was A and the A sample, or the C and the D sample both come in at the same time. This one's clean. That one's not clean. What happened? Oh, maybe the B sample was taken 2 days later after the tail end of it left his system. Who knows? It'll be interesting. I know now that I will be trying my best to understand how UCAD works in their testing, because UCAD for certain is got to be, man, what they did, not UCAD, excuse me, what BBOC did was straight up, it has to be corrupt. Frank Warren said that he knew of multiple people that were on the BBBOC that did not want to allow the fight to continue, but yet they were overruled and the fight was pushed through. This would also call into doubt, and what I'm thinking should happen, if I'm an American heavyweight and I have any say-so whatsoever, I'm not going to the UK to fight. I'm not fighting under the BBBOC or UCAD. Because they put Oscar Rivas' life at risk. and didn't even feel like didn't respect him enough to even let the guy know. So if it wasn't already bad enough that Anthony Joshua got knocked out and ain't the champion anymore, and they're trying to get Andy Ruiz to go over to the UK, Andy Ruiz is probably not going to go to the UK. If I'm Andy Ruiz, I'm not going to the UK, and I'm citing that as the reason to anybody that might mediate the issue. And Eddie Hearn hinted towards that when he said that Andy Ruiz's team is now using that as a scapegoat. What do they say? As a smokescreen, whatever the word he was, acting as if it's unreasonable not to want to go somewhere and fight under a promotional company and for a sanctioning body or a boxing commission that would allow a fighter to test dirty, not tell them, and then let them in the ring. So anyway, we'll see what happens. It is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.